Today we're splitting our sales in cohorts based off on the acquisition channel and figuring out if our marketing efforts are better spent in specific channels as opposed to others. Whether you're a business owner or run a marketing agency, or you're employed in anything related to marketing, you know that most companies have a limited social media marketing budget. So it's really important to make sure that we're spending this budget where it can provide the most value for the business. Why do most small businesses never run TV ads? Because they're extremely expensive, and most often than not, the return on the investment is not good enough, especially for a smaller business. So you're already running ads in all those places and all those platforms, but it's really important to figure out if those are the best for you. If, for example, for every dollar you spend on ads on TikTok, you generate $10 in sales, and on the other hand, you have to spend $5 on Instagram to generate the same $10, then it makes perfect sense to stop advertising on Instagram and focusing all your marketing efforts on TikTok. And a lot of gurus out there will tell you that you have to be present on every platform and things like that. And yes, you have to be present in terms of generating content. And even this has to do with exactly what you're selling and what your target audience is. But producing content for a platform does not mean that you have to spend a portion of your marketing budget to promote this content or directly promote your products and services. But it's impossible to track every single sale you make to see where this customer came from, how much you spent on ads to get them there, and how much they spent for your products or your services. However, if we leverage the concept of cohort analysis, then this becomes a trivial exercise. Cohort analysis is a technique where we split our population of items into similar groups based off of some kind of a categorical variable. Now let's take a look at how to do this in Excel. I have this spreadsheet here with sales data. Obviously it's dummy data, but usually those are some of the columns that you might get from an export from your sales management platform. The columns we care about are our sale amount, so what our revenue was, and our channel, so the channel that brought us this sale, meaning that this sale here, we made a little over $1,000 from someone that we got through our Instagram ads. What we'll do is we'll cohort our sales based off on the acquisition channel, which is this here. We can do different analysis. Let's say we can look at cohorts based on a product category, based on region. So how much are we selling, what our average sale value is in Europe versus Asia Pacific versus Latin America. We can look at what our average sale is in fashion versus books. And in this particular use case, we'll take a look at what our average sale is in between our channels. And we'll go a step further and compare that to the cost to acquire customers through said channels. In order to do that, I'll grab the whole data here, go to Insert, Pivot Table, zoom in a bit. And what we need here is in rows our channel. So we have the channels that brought us the sales, and we also want the sale amount. Let me format that as values. You see that it's pretty well spread out between all channels. But the thing here that we care about is how much are we spending in order to generate this revenue. To do that, we'll also grab our customer ID, put it in values, and click here, go to value field settings and change that to count. So we want to have the count, so how many customers we served in order to get this amount here. We can go in and add calculated fields, but it's much easier to just grab that and paste it on the bottom, so it's no longer a pivot table. I can add some totals as well. Can do that with Alt and the plus sign, and it automatically adds a total. Now that we have the total sales amount and the number of customers, we can calculate the average sale per customer. And that's gonna equal our sale amount divided over our number of customers. Copy that down with Control D. Pretty similar because we're using randomly generated data to portray the example. Another thing I have here is the marketing channels and how much we spent during the same period. This data is for January, and here we have how much we spent per marketing channel. You can just grab those, copy paste them over here, expand that a bit. And now let's see. Do they match in terms of rows? They match, so we can just go ahead and work with those. I'm gonna add a few columns here. So after our average sale value per customer, we wanna look at our average customer acquisition cost. So this is the concept here, is that we spent this much on Facebook ads and it brought us this much in terms of sales. So it brought us 147 customers. So our average customer acquisition cost would be our total marketing spend divided over the number of customers. Copy that down, and you can immediately see that for LinkedIn, we spent quite a lot, and this results in a quite high average customer acquisition cost. Format those. And to illustrate this even better, we can calculate the return on ad spend, say ROAS, and this is gonna be our average sale minus our average customer acquisition cost. So this is the profit that we're making on top of our customer acquisition cost, which is not exactly profit because we might have different costs associated with the delivery. But to keep it really simple, imagine that those are all digital products that we built once ourselves, and now everything above our marketing spend is pure profit, and divide that over the average customer acquisition cost. Format it a bit, and then we can copy that down. We don't really need it, but if there are more rows, what I like to do is I like to do color scales. Just grab the first color scale, and you can immediately see that we're making only 11 cents on each dollar that we spend to acquire a customer. Especially if we have additional costs, this wouldn't work. This will be a losing marketing channel, and we might want to consider stopping our LinkedIn ads. Another way to look at it is imagine that we spent those LinkedIn dollars on YouTube ads, which is where we generate the most amount of profit. So for every dollar we spend, we make that dollar back and we make $3.28 on top of it. So for example, if I spent this 100 grand that we're currently spending on LinkedIn ads, on YouTube ads, I would potentially be making about 340,000 additional profit on top of the 100 grand that I'll be putting into advertising. And that's the whole exercise of using Cohort to summarize your sales data. So instead of going through all those sales and analyzing them separately, we're splitting them into cohorts based off the categorical variable channel, and we're then analyzing them at this level where it's much simpler because we have a lot less categories to think about. And this allows us to draw conclusions about the whole population of sales that we have here. And here it's pretty evident that LinkedIn is not working for us. So we either need to rethink our marketing strategy in terms of what we share on LinkedIn, or we might think about splitting this 100 grand and spending it on other platforms that are performing much better for our particular product. You see that once we had the data separated into cohorts, it was a breeze to analyze it and figure out where we should focus our marketing efforts. And keep in mind, this is applicable for pretty much any situation where you have too many items to analyze individually, but you have some categorical variables that you can use to combine those into similar groups and then analyze the groups. Next, I want to talk about why it's important to keep track of the financial performance of your competition and how you can do it with a free benchmark analysis template, and we're going to do that in this video right here. That's all I had for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in this video.